Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Brewing with Magic. Well, I love mono black, and I put out a poll on YouTube the other day asking what was your favorite color, and sitting at almost 50% with 500 different votes is black. So I decided let's listen to the people and bring them a mono black deck. But before I get into that, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, it really means the world to us over here. It helps support me, supports the channel, and gets us out to a much bigger audience. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you know exactly when our new content comes out. So, what have we got for you today? It's mono black control, and it's definitely annoying if you're sitting on the other side of the table, but it's a blast to play if you're the one running it. So, let's go ahead and start off with our early game drops. We have 4 copies of iTwitch, which just helps us to get into our sideboard. We'll go over that in just a moment. We have got 4 copies of Shambling Gas. It's just one of the best black 1-drops in the game. At least in standard right now, tons and tons of value. We have 2 Valky God of Lies. You know it, you love to play it, you hate to be playing against it. Early game in this deck, you're always throwing it out as Valky. You want to see their hand, maybe get a creature out of it that they really needed. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell. You make Valky into that creature, get a ton of value. If you draw it late game, we have ways of making treasures with this card as well as other cards in the deck. And so late game, we can cast this as Tibalt, but don't be afraid to throw this down as Valky immediately. Not only do you get value out of that, but they have to remove it. So you're going to rip a removal out of their hand. It's really helpful. And then we have 3 copies of Skullport Merchant. It's just an all-star 3-drop that I never saw coming when we first read and spoiled all the cards. It's a huge blocker against all these aggro decks. It draws you cards. It gives you a treasure token. I'm really loving Skullport Merchant. Then we have our removal package. We're sitting with 2 Infernal Grasps. We have 1 Pelika Perdition. It's not technically a removal, but it does rip something out of their hand, so you're removing it from their hand and don't have to deal with it on the board later. We have 1 copy of Soul Shatter just to get around anything like Emerstrom Predator or anything with Ward or anything like that, and 1 copy of Hagra Mauling. We wanted a little bit more land in the deck. Same thing with the Pelika Perdition. We just wanted a little bit more land, but we didn't want it to be actual land, so this gives us a way late game to not flood out and be able to do something with our cards. Then we have some board wipes. We're trying out in the current meta 1 Shadow's Verdict. Not 100% sure if this is going to stay in the deck very long or how much I love it. It hasn't been horrible so far, but just testing it out in the current meta, it got so much play before, it's seen so little play now, and just kind of curious. This deck originally has been seeing play by a lot of people on the ladder, and our very own top deck king over here, my good friend Wahid and me, this is our little tweak on the deck, and we kind of just made it our own, and so we're just trying a few things out. Blood on the Snow, we're running 3 copies of that. Of course we are. It's an all-star. It gets back either one of your little creatures if you have to do it without enough snow, but mainly, you know, it brings back a Lolth or Professor Onyx late in the game after wiping their entire board. Lot of power there. And then we're running 3 of the new Meathook Massacre. I'm sure you've already seen it, but just in case, 2 black and X. Legendary enchantment. When the Meathook Massacre enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. So, a lot of text on this card. It's doing a lot of value for it. So, we're definitely going to jam 3 of those in. I'd put 4 in if it wasn't a legendary enchantment. Might as well have it backed up with some other board sweepers, in my opinion. Then we have some draw cards. We have 4 copies of Deadly Dispute. Not only does it give us that treasure token, but we get to draw 2 cards. It's really helpful for refilling our hand. And then 2 copies of Hunt for Specimens. Technically not a draw card, but it does get you into your sideboard, so you are getting a card into your hand, as well as creating yourself a 1/1 token. So really nice card in the deck. And then we have our game closers, our finishers, our planeswalkers. We have 4 copies of Lolth. Now said, we have 2 copies of Professor Onyx. You know exactly what they are. Once again, you love playing them. You love playing against them. And our land, we have 2 copies of Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Not only does it get around board sweeps, but it also helps get rid of the cards in graveyards against mirror matches or anybody else who wants cards in their graveyard. You go ahead and say, no, you don't get that. We have 15 copies of Snow-Covered Swamp. We have 4 Faceless Havens. For the same reason of the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, it gets around board sweeps, but it doesn't, you know, it hits harder, but it doesn't rip cards out of the graveyard. So we got a little bit of diversity there. And then 2 copies of Field of Ruin. Not only is it here for creature lands, but just in case you come across a pesky Faceless Haven Book of Exalted Deeds deck, make sure you remember you have a win con in your deck still, or a way to make it to where you can win again, I should say. And then our sideboard, we have 2 environmental sciences because having land in this deck is important. Not only do you want to get to 6 as soon as possible for both the Blood on the Snow and the Professor Onyx, but you want to make sure at least 6 of the lands on the battlefield are snow lands so that when you Blood on the Snow, you can bring back Professor, or at least 5 for the Lolth. 1 Necrotic Fumes for any kind of creature out there that's really hard to deal with. Once again, Emstrom Predator, things that can't, that you have to exile to get rid of Planeswalkers. 1 Containment Breach, because everybody in the world is playing class cards right now. Pest Summoning, just in case you need to gum up the board just a little bit, just to buy yourself some time. And then late game, if you have a bunch of land, we're grabbing Mascot Exhibitions. So we have 2 copies of that, just because you get 3 creatures, tons of power, and tons of defense for only 7 colorless mana. Super, super strong. So, that's the deck. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It plays just like you'd think. It's a control deck. Keep controlling. Keep hitting them for just little bits of damage whenever you can, chipping away, and then go ahead and close out the game with tons of value with both the Lolth, the Professor Onyx, and anything else that you might draw. So, make sure you stick around for the summary at the end, and let's go ahead and get into that gameplay. Flyboy, 1674. There's a lot of Flyboys out there if you're the 1674th one. No. We have 2 lands, a Field of Ruin, and a Snow-Covered Swamp. We got ourselves a Shambling Gas, Meathook, a Valky, a Pelka Perdition, and a Blood on the Snow. So a 3rd land, pseudo. I'm going to go ahead and keep it, and we're going to go with the Shambling Gas to start. And depending what they play, maybe we go Valky, maybe we go Perdition, pass. Ooh, there we go. Now we don't need that Perdition. So I think I definitely want to have a Valky happen here. Did we just whiff? Ranger, Snakeskin, Forest, Ranger, Forest, Ranger. Interesting. Oh, I looked up. Meant to attack. And if we lose by 1, then that's on me. They get themselves a 2/2. We take our turn. They don't have anything that costs 3 or more. So, I mean, we can't, unless that's what that is, and we really don't know. So, I don't think we want to be casting that. Maybe we'll save that for a few turns. Or is it better just to have it out on the board now? Yeah, we're going to throw it. We're going to throw it. We're not a discard deck. There's only 1 in the deck anyways. We're going to go ahead and swing in with both. Let's see what they do. Okay, so the Valky still eliminated something. I think that's fine. And it gets rid of their creature, and I'll Deadly Dispute the Shambling Gas, get a token. Yeah, I think that's better to let that happen. I'm going to throw another Ranger class into another Ranger class, and okay, 2/2 Wolfie. We got to keep moving our board along, so we're definitely going to be sacrificing this. Getting a 2/2 token, or a treasure token. They have the 2/2. Getting a treasure token. Drawing some cards. Hunt for Specimens going to help us gum up the board a little for a moment. Oh, a Shambling Ghast as well. So let's get this Field of Ruin out there. Let's throw the Shambling Ghast. Let's hunt for specimens. What do we want? 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be 5 lands. We don't want to count the treasure, so we're close to Mascot. We might want Environmental. Containment Breach can kill the first one that they power up. Other than that, it's not doing a whole lot of good for us at the moment. So, we're trying to survive till we hit a Blood on the Snow. I guess we take this in case they are able to power one up later and start trying to take advantage of it by drawing more cards, by playing them from the top of the deck, that is. So I think we just pass the turn, grabbing the Containment Breach. So now they can fire both of these up or play that and fire that up. If they swing, then, let's see. I just think I take this. Well, I was going to Meathook. If I'm going to Meathook anyways, then when I should just block, right? So we'll just block with this. We'll get ourselves a treasure token. And we're going to have to meet... Oh, perfect. I was going to say we're going to have to meat hook for 3 because they can... Anyways, now we're just going to meat hook for... I want the double... I want them to lose a life as well because they're going to block. So we're just going to go ahead and meat hook for 3 before attacking. And then we just end the turn. They go to level 2 on that. They'll probably go to level 2 again. I think they don't have anything in their hand worth doing anything. So we'll throw out our land that we just got. And unfortunately, I'd have to Blood on the Snow for a Valky right now. And that just doesn't make sense to me. So I guess we're just... This is an odd top deck situation here. They drew another land. They'll level 3 that up. Now I'll be killing that next turn. Well, there's a Skullport Merchant. That's going to help us draw cards. We're definitely going to want to kill this Containment Breach. This. We get a 1/1 token out of it, which is perfect for sacrificing for drawing, which is what we'll be doing. Pass the turn. They're going to keep powering these up. Yep. We're going to eat this. Draw a card. We need card advantage to close this out. Eye Twitch is okay. Take our turn. There we go. Let's throw the Lolth out. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some spiders. Swing on in. And at this point, we spend some treasure on that as well. The auto tapper didn't show us any love. We're going to hold up the Aggro Mauling for sure. They're bound to hit a creature eventually. So, one creature here we don't mind. Froghemoth. Okay, so that has trample. So I guess we do mind that a little, but we'll just end up eating it with the Aggro Mauling. Maybe they're going to go at Lolth. Okay, they are. So I don't think they get anything out of that. So that's perfectly fine. That resolves. Has trample. We don't block it. We're 1 Snowland away from bringing her back. Don't need it at the moment anyways. We have the Mauling.
I'm merely delayed, not defeated.
We take our turn. Ooh, I like that. Let's go ahead and just swing in with everything. And then 4, 5, 6, 7. So I guess, unfortunately, they're going to Snakeskin Veil. And we're going to start taking a lot of damage here. So unfortunately, we're just going to destroy all the creatures now with the snow. We don't get our Lolth back. But we'll take the Valky. See if they happen to have another creature in their hand. We do all kinds of triggers with this. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go ahead and grab that Mascot Exhibition. And Flyboy's done. Flyboy don't want to see any more of this. We got there. Dewey Esquire. We go first. We have 2 lands. We have a Shambling Gas, Deadly Dispute, Meat Hook, Lolth, and a Blood. A little big here on this end, but that's okay. We have what we need early game. Let's throw a Swamp into the Gas. And next turn we'll be blocking with the Gas, most likely, and Deadly Disputing it to draw some cards, get some treasure tokens. Here comes an Eye Twitch. So we'll throw that down. We'll go ahead and swing in. They're going to take the block, huh? Okay. We'll Deadly Dispute the Shambling Gas. Do we need to even give them their... We don't need to kill it. It's just 1 damage. Let's not let them get to it yet. Gives us more treasure tokens and the turn. Now they have to Deadly Dispute it. Deadly Dispute it if they want theirs. Another Eye Twitch. Land. Interesting. I mean, we could easily get a Skullport Merchant out next turn, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the Lolth right now. Let's go ahead and create 2 1/1s.
Subservience will be rewarded.
Another Eye Twitch comes down. They're gonna swing both at the lull. No blocks. Didn't see that coming, did you?
A pity our time is over.
Let's go ahead and throw out a Skullport Merchant. And let's go ahead and swing on in for 4. Trying to take advantage of our opponent missing that land drop. We can't let them kill us with these. They're gonna definitely not attack this turn and make some blocks. Shambling Ghast. Okay. Swing with 1. So they can only block 1 of these. There's an Onyx. Let's go ahead and throw a Skullport Merchant out. And so they double block this. They can do all kinds of havoc. And they can get into their sideboard. No attacks. End the turn. I'm working on an Onyx here. I'm working on a Blood on the Snow. Okay, they get us again. This is an awkward board state. Maybe I meathook for 1 and get my Lolth out here. Let's take the turn. It's a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Oh. I think it's the Lolth. I think we go Lolth. But I think we start plussing her for card advantage. Oh, but that'll get them another land. But, so let's go. Let's go in with everything. Now that we have Lolth. They could have just killed our Lolth and taken it all. I mean, they're going to have to start spending their mana to get their mana now. So they'll have to cast Environmental. They'll probably top deck land now, too. So they're going to go that route. It doesn't matter how I order this. That way they can just kill the 2-drop with the minus token. But I feel like they need land. So interesting. So we get all kinds of stuff happening here. Okay, they do kill the spider token.
My will cannot be denied.
They're going to grab environmental science. I mean, they have to go get environmental science. They've been
Aren't I generous?
behind on land. Environmental science, like I said. Red land. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, they're in the red now. Okay. Got her.
You've guaranteed.
So we're going to throw down the Field of Ruin. I think I just attack. Wait. Cancel. 1, 2, 3. I need another Snowland. That would just be nothing. We wouldn't be doing anything. So they most likely have direct damage. So they are probably going to be able to kill her if we minus her. I think we're just still trying for card advantage. Soul Shatter's nice. We throw the Eye Twitch out. I guess I could have attacked with that, but now I have this, and I can sacrifice the Eye Twitch to draw. We'll pass the turn holding up the Soul Shatter. We can, like I said, draw a card. Stuff like that. Blow up one of their Faceless Havens. I don't know if they need double-colored spells or have... Okay, that's perfect. They can't stop what we're going to do to that. So I'm just going to start being more aggressive. So I'm going to let them have that. So they get that.
I'll show you what I do to traitors.
We'll go ahead and Soul Shatter. Nothing you can do about that. Your Predator's going. Bye-bye. Skullport Merchant again, huh? So let's go ahead and swing in. Meathook. For 1. Cancel. Hold on. Yeah, we almost have Blood on the Snow. See, if they have another Innistrad Predator, that's what I'm trying to think about. And should I be meat hooking that? But I have this with Menace. Those will have Menace. Let's meat hook for one. Got it. Okay. Okay. What a game. That was stressful. I can't believe we pulled it off. Zach of all trades. I like it. Hello, Zach. Opponent goes first. We have 3 lands, a Faceless, a Field, a Snow-Covered Swamp. We have an Eye Twitch, a Hunt for Specimens, Infernal Grasp, Skullport Merchant. I mean, this is a pretty ideal beginning hand for this deck. We're going to need some more black mana soon. Well, I mean, not per se, but we got the Field. So they are going to be Gruul. Hey, there's that land I was hoping for. Next turn, we have the Hunt for Specimens. Just to keep gumming up the board, we save the Infernal Grasp for something a little bigger, a little more problematic, or whatever we just want to get rid of. Ranger class coming down. Shambling Gas is the play for us. We have 2 lands coming up, so we really don't need to get to Environmental Science right now. I think we just go with the Shambling Gas. And then if they power this, I guess no attacks. That way if they power this up and swing for 3, we'll just triple block and kill it. We'll get into our sideboard. I mean, if they do that, we lose 2 mana to a 2 mana spell, but we also get a card back, and they also keep a card on the board. So they're just going to swing with that. We have plenty of land, so we're definitely going to want to keep their board clear. So let's block with this and give them the old -1/-1 token. We'll throw the Faceless Haven this turn. I mean, we could kill one of... If we Field of Ruin this... Let's... Hold on. So if I Field of Ruin this, they have to go get a red to keep playing red. And then they'll lose another green. But we really don't know what's in their hand. So maybe I'm grasping at straws there. Let's get the Faceless Haven out. Let's put the Skullport Merchant out. Yeah, let's put the Skullport Merchant out. No attacks. End the turn. I want to be able to block with the Eye Twitch and, like, sack it to the Merchant and draw a card, I think. So, I think I might let our opponent in for 4 here. And then we have the Infernal Grasp as well. So, no blocks on that. I think I'm just going to let him hit us once. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Let's get that out now because we have the treasure token. Even though I'm trying to get to the Professor Onyx here. Let's swing in for 1. And end the turn. The odds are they have a Snakeskin Veil, which makes me a little nervous. Okay, well now we know they don't. So, I think now we're just going to go ahead and Infernal Grasp that now. Let them have the 2/2. And then we pass, take the turn, throw the Field of Ruin, Professor Onyx, auto pay. We will go ahead and plus Onyx. Huh. I don't know if we need another Skullport Merchant at the moment. I'm just going to grab more land. No attacks. End the turn.
Go digging.
They're not getting in with that wolf right now, I'll tell you that. They must have kept a pretty greedy hand. We'll go ahead and it's time to block with the Eye Twitch. I know I could block with the Skullport, but they probably have something they can do, like a Snakeskin Veil or Frostbite. So we'll just go ahead and do this and get into our sideboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This makes 6 lands. So, I mean, we might be just grabbing Environmental... I mean, they have 2 of these and they don't have a lot of other plays. So maybe it's the Containment Breach. I don't have any treasure right now, but I do have a Deadly Dispute. Let's just grab the Mascot. Another land. I'm glad I didn't grab an environmental science. Not that I was really even talking about it. We're going to hunt for specimens. Get us in there again. That also triggers the Onyx. Zach's out. Okay, they're doing 3 damage.
I won't
to
give
Onyx.
you a second
Okay.
chance.
I think we just keep pounding them with environmental or mascots at this point. 2 turns in a row is what it's going to be, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next turn I have the 7th right here. So let's go ahead, and they just don't want us to kill that, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and plus Onyx. We were always gonna. Oh, we're definitely taking Lolth. I want that. I mean, how I want to grab the meathook, but they're really low on cards. So we go ahead and go next, no attacks, and the turn. I could have attacked with this, but we're like, we have the board under control. 1 point of damage isn't really making a difference at this point. They took a super greedy hand and aren't hitting land. We've been, I mean, this is how good Gruul is. They've been putting up a fight with just this. I mean, they haven't, I don't think they've missed a turn of doing something. So they're coming in at the Onyx. We'll go ahead and block with the Pest. And then we'll go ahead and sacrifice the Pest, draw a card, gain a life. That's why I want that meathook out here soon. And if I am going to be meathooking, which I think I am, I think I'm going to go ahead and just Deadly Dispute this right now. There we go. Okay, all the lands, all the treasures, all the this, all the that. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I thought I had... Oh, I didn't grab the meathook. Oh, man. Silly person. Let's go ahead and... I think I just Lolth, right? I don't mascot yet. I Lolth. We
You could have
put out some
power,
spiders.
but you are too.
We'll
And I, the generous
lose a life and grab a... I don't think... We have 2 Shambling Gasps. What's... Their hand's pretty big. We'll look at their hand in a second. It doesn't matter. We'll throw out a Shambling Gas. We have plenty of land, so we'll throw the other Shambling Gas, sacrifice that. We have blockers for days. Now I feel like we're going to have to close this game out. If they start drawing cards, lands, that's what happens when you tunnel vision on the board and not look at your hand. So they're attacking with this, giving it a token. So I just block with a Shambling Gas, right? Because then I can attack with these for... Yeah, we'll just block with one of those. Get ourselves a treasure token.
Do what I demand.
Okay. So they just flipped it, huh? Okay. We'll go ahead and throw the Faceless Haven out. So if I soul shatter now, how much do I hit him for? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I just win next turn. Let's go ahead and just do the mascot. We'll crack that. Do that. Onyx, let's go ahead and... I mean, we have enough to win the game at this point. So let's go ahead and just have them just sacrifice a creature. Why not? Get rid of one of those. Let's just end this game. Okay, they got rid of it. Let's go ahead and plus you. Draw a card. Deadly Dispute it is.
I know the
Swing in for 5. And end the turn. I mean, that's game. There's their 3rd land. Poor Zach. I mean, poor Zach. I don't have much pity for a Gruul deck. I get land hosed all the time. If it happens to them, they picked a greedy hand. But look at that. Coming down. Not going to be enough to end anything. Next turn, even if I don't Soul Shatter one of these, which I will be, they can only block, what, 1, 2 of our biggest creatures, and they still take plenty of damage. So, yeah. You can just have her. It's all yours. She's all yours. And I would love it if they had a Frostbite to pop the Lolth also. But yeah, no blocks. It's all yours. I like Zach. Okay. So let's go ahead and deadly dispute it.
Aren't I generous?
Good game. Okay, Brew Crew, that's going to do it for Mono Black Control, and it will definitely climb on the ladder if you take your time and you really get to know the deck, but that's how any control deck is. You're not going to just pick one up and just go gung-ho and win, but if you get really used to how to play this deck, maybe tweak it as the meta goes, you're really going to enjoy it and have a lot of fun playing it. Couple of changes. I might put Pest Summoning back, but I just never seem to go grab it. I know why it's there, but I don't, and I think I'd actually rather have a second Containment Breach right now. I mean, a lot of times people are able, especially at mono green, to put 2 of the ranger classes down on you, get those plussed, or even the white class, the paladin class, or there's just too many of them in other cards. There's more times than not where I wanted to grab another Containment Breach, and I had already used one, so I think I'm going to give that a try. And then another thing I'm going to just be play testing. A late game Valky is amazing. I love it. And I love the thought of being able to go early game, see their hand. So I don't know if I'm going to like to keep this, but just so you know what I'm going to be play testing with, and for a minute, just to see if I really like it, I'm going to be probably dropping the 2 Valkyries, and I'm going to add in another Soul Shatter and another Inferno Grasp, since we do have ways to gain life in the deck, with the meathook, with the Professor Onyx, and stuff like that. I think it's okay to have a 3rd Internal Grasp, plus you're usually going to be killing a creature that was going to be doing 2 damage to you anyways, so you got to look at it like that. And that's how I'm going to take the deck out and run it the next time. Let's go over what we should and shouldn't craft. Uncommons and commons, craft away. I don't know how many you have, but I'm not going to go over those. Soul Shatters, super strong card. If you don't have 2 copies, I think it's safe to go ahead and craft. Aggro Mauling is a land, technically, so if you watch the show enough, you know I say craft away on those. And I think a Aggro Mauling is pretty safe anyways, even though it's technically not a full land. Shadow's Verdict. If you don't own any, you could craft one if you have plenty of wild cards. If you don't have a lot of wild cards, I would replace the Shadow's Verdict with another Blood on the Snow. Just that way, I think Blood on the Snow is a much safer craft at the moment. If you see a lot of people start playing this, then craft those. So that's my warning there. I'm not saying it's a bad craft, but maybe you just finish your playset of Blood on the Snows. That being said, Blood on the Snow, craft away in my opinion. Meathook Massacre seems like it's going to be super strong. I definitely suggest at least crafting 2. It's an expensive card because they are a Mythic wild card. I mean, I'm only sitting at 2. It's not like I'm Mythic rich over here either, so I get it. But 2 I think is safe. I would craft 3 if you could. If you can't craft 3, you only craft 2. Maybe you add another Soul Shatter to the deck, maybe, or another Infernal Grasp. But just be careful with crafting that. I don't want you to hate the deck and not have anything left. Lolths and Professor Onyxes, especially 2 Onyxes, seem super safe. If you have the wild cards, you're going to be playing them a lot. A whole playset of Lolth, stamp of approval. I say you do it. I absolutely think the card is amazing. It goes in mono black, all the different colors that are escaping my brain at the moment. So super safe to craft in my opinion. We have 2 Hive of the Eye Tyrants that are extremely craftable in my opinion, because it is a land. 4 Faceless Havens, craft away on those. And as far as the sideboard goes, I definitely think you should own 1 Mascot Exhibition. I think 2 is safe to craft, but if you don't have a lot of wild cards, definitely want 1, and then just replace, depending on what you're seeing in the meta, that second Mascot Exhibition with whatever you feel comfortable with. So that's my warnings as far as that go. I really hope you enjoyed the deck. Leave us a comment down below letting us know just anything you want to let us know. Please thumbs up the video. Hit that subscribe button. It really means the world to us. It really helps support the channel, support me, get us out to a much bigger audience. And as always, until next time, have a blast in the arena.